Missionary work is not a 2-week done and gone. They have to see you walk it out. Shalom Christian Missions is run entirely by volunteers. We've just come together out of need, and people have just been drawn, and we take mission teams over. We do children's sponsorships. We do different building projects there. We're trying to create an orphanage, a children's center in the middle of nowhere. You know, I'm often asked, how do you get started with a children's center way in a remote part of Kenya? And my answer is you don't. We never plan to get involved in what we're doing. Just by following God's will one step at a time, we find ourselves in one of the remote areas of Kenya with the highest HIV rate in probably all of Kenya. Homa Bay County being 27%, and the specific area where we're at is estimated as high as 80–90% HIV. We had been involved with mission work earlier and did a lot of teen missions. We found ourselves working with a church to go over to Kenya, and as part of an offshoot, we were introduced to certain people in a certain area, and we started helping some kids out. But we knew that if we were going to do any type of service work overseas in third world countries, it was paramount, it was most important that we be able to go, see, and know what was going on the ground. So we took our first trip in 2007 and came back. It was quite an eye-opener, as I think most people, when they experience a third world country, are really made aware of what the world is like outside of the United States. But we came back and knew there was such a huge need, and my wife Gay had been on the phone and started trying to contact every organization that she could find, because the need was so real. The kids were so precious. So we began calling every organization we could think of and got kind of the same answer. Sorry, we don't have anybody in that area. We really can't help you. We are a 501c3. We're a nonprofit organization. We're not under any specific church, although many churches do support us. And part of that is a good thing for us, because that opens more doors for us. It opens the ability for Christians to come together under the Church of Christ and not under our individual denominations. You know, part of our mission experience is that we've had to learn the hard way a couple of realizations. One is the severe need that exists there, because we don't comprehend how deep the problems are in third world countries. But we also don't understand, because of that need, how far people will go to try to deceive and take advantage of people trying to do good works in their areas. And so when we faced corruption in the local areas from the authorities and the people we were partnering with, we had to decide that we're going to do whatever it takes to defend these kids. You know, I'm over quite a bit. I've been going over for roughly 2 months at a time, every 2 or 3 times a year. And my most difficult part is being able to leave my United States parts behind. A day there, from our standpoint, you never know what's going to happen. Your best laid plans are always going astray with the newest crisis of the day. Sometimes you wonder what you're doing, because you put so much into trying to help these kids on the other side of the world. But at the end of the day, at the end of the time, you can see in their hearts, you know, some of these kids wouldn't be alive if we weren't there. And just to know that you're giving them a future, that you're giving them hope, that they're starting to get an understanding that there's a bigger world out there. You know that you're making an impact. You know that you're changing the world one life at a time.